Welcome back. It is Leeds United nil, Newcastle nil. A massive improvement from last week. Craig, how are we doing?
Happy with that
Mate,
performance.
it was solid, especially the back and the mid. I mean, I can't describe like how good like the mid and we nullified them pretty much, didn't we? So especially when they got like Bruno Guimaraes and Sano Tonali, who are two of the best centre mids in the league. Obviously, Ramsey had to come in, who knows a decent player. So we actually kept them quiet and did really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I said it were more like we cancelled each other out kind of game. It were the only thing that worried me was could we keep it up for a full 90 minutes, and we did.
Yeah, I thought we were, especially the first half, because we've seen it so many times with Leeds United that it's like when you start well in the middle or start well at the start of the game, you thought it's just going to come off near the end. But second half again, we kept up with them.
And it's same old story, isn't it? Though it's that final third, that cutting edge that we've missed out on. And to be fair, if we had that, we won that game today.
I mean, we were unlucky not to with our only shot on target from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who did really, really well to get in that position. Again, it was one of those snapshot kind of things, match fitness maybe, but he was unlucky. Keeper made a save. It was a routine save. My thing was when Harrison got the ball, being first touch, and you know how much I love Harrison's first touch. I think he's one of the best I've ever seen for Leeds. Took it past their right back, and then actually skinned him as well. And then it was that right, play the right ball here. And he just the decision making. If
Yeah,
that's the frustrating thing about Jack Harrison.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, it's not just Jack, is it? It's a whole forward line. I've talked about it for months, well, years. It's frustrating the decision making sometimes. But I mean, I don't want to be too harsh because we played really well, and it's in the moment. It's different to what you see on TV or at the game. What you see as a fan, the decision making. In hindsight, you go, you should have done this, you should have done that. But in that split
Yeah.
moment, it's you see things different. So yeah, it could have been better. We just need a bit more quality, a bit more calmness up front. But I mean, as much as you like Perot, and how much like I've said, he's a good striker. How big of a difference does it make when you've got players that are that bit more level above, like in the head, rather than
I know what you're going to say here. Yes, Pirro is, I suppose, a top end championship player. It- Can he do it in the Prem? And I've said that all along. Can he do it in the Prem? With Mecha again, it's that hold up play. He did okay in my opinion. Today I've seen a lot of fans praising him, and then others that are saying that he done a job. I thought he did okay in holding the ball up. There was one time in the first half when I think he snapped at a shot or he didn't get it right, or the pass was wrong in my opinion, which we'll touch upon um, in a bit. But that is he better, or is it just because the fans just don't want Pero and they want someone else? Do you know what I mean by that?
yeah. Like I've said to you, the thing with Perot is, I think he needs someone behind him, creativity
Yeah,
behind him. Like he needs someone. He just needs to be in and around the box. You can't afford him to be outside the box and running in. You don't run onto stuff. Or he'll not make it in time into the areas it should be. You see the difference between, I mean, like the way that Metcha and Calvert Lewin get into those areas. Perot doesn't do that,
no,
and
no, he doesn't.
that's what you need from your striker. If Perot didn't drop so deep and he could get into those positions, it'd be top quality. But yeah, that's the difference though in knowing how to play the game on your position and what you're doing. I think Perot just is used to playing his way, like the way that he
Yeah,
likes to play. But yeah, I think a lot of fans will probably have a go at like Calvert Lewin or Metcha on that side and not praise them as what they deserve because they didn't cost us money, because they didn't and because
I know what you mean.
they've come off at back you know injuries and seasons where they've had like injuries upon injuries. if those two players were signed for £30 million each and they'd not had an injury last season, everybody would be praising them for what they've done in these last couple of games because they've done well.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, I slated Calvert-Lewin last game in the cup due to the fact that he missed three. Okay, one relatively easy shot. I'll give him that. And then the other two were a lot more trickier. And then the penalty miss, which again, Longstaff missed the penalty. Do you know what I mean? It happens. Things can miss. You can miss penalties, but he was getting in the right places. And again, today we saw it. He got in the right places, snapped his shot. But again, with time, with his fitness coming back, he'll be scoring those goals.
Yeah, you got to imagine he's not played for a long time. It's like if you don't play football for a long time, you're a bit rusty.
Yeah.
You're not going to be world class straight away. I'm not saying he's world class, but it's just you're not going to be. Your touch is not there until you played a few games. Your your sharpness is there. It'll come, and as long as he stays fit, the major thing is staying fit, staying without injury, and if he does, we've got a £20 million striker there.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't like to put price tags on them, because, especially when they are a free transfer. But again, I know what you mean by if you look at transfer market or the salon fee. If he goes off and scores 10, 15 goals this season for us, keeps us up, then yeah, his value will go up. And then if somebody mid-table thinks, "Oh no, we'll go back, we'll go for him because he's done well for Leeds," say. So I can see where you're coming from on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is like I'm not saying that's what he's worth. I'm just saying that if he stays injury free this season, the way that what can you buy for 20 million nowadays? It's like he's a £20 million striker, isn't it? That's the difference that he makes. You can see the difference that he makes, even without scoring. It's in the right positions. He's getting shots off. I mean, it was nice. His first shot on target was from Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 89th minute. It's nuts.
Yeah, but I just think that, again, I think way Farkas set up, I think he twigged it a little bit. So he knew what mistakes he made against Arsenal. We were a lot more open in that game. You could see it with the mid three. They were a lot wider, disjointed. Whereas this game round, I thought it was a lot more compact in the mid. We kept it simple. We kind of went back to basics in the fact that we played not to concede, whether or not it's like the West Brom game last season where we played not to lose that game. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
The passing today were just a little bit better than it were against Arsenal, though. Like just the simple passing, the little triangles, the 1-2s, the getting out of situations. It were all a lot better than it was against Arsenal. Not perfect, but it were a lot better.
No, I was going to say we made 456. They made 456 accurate passes. We made 328 apparently, which on the eye watching it, I thought we were that much better. But again, same with possession. This is on Who Scored. They had about 56, 57%. We had 43. Whereas when you're watching it, I think the way that we attacked it with the ball, whereas they kind of sat back between Tonali, Cher, Dan Burn, kind of passing it around, whereas we didn't do that as much. Whereas we know with Rodon, Strauch and Ampadu, which would have been Gruev, we pass it between those three a lot more. But because they were quicker in that sense, that it looks compared to Championship, they were a lot more quicker pressing us. We didn't have that time, so I think that's probably why it wasn't as good as what it looked watching it.
Yeah, but that's what makes it look better, isn't it? Because they're quicker at pressing, so we're moving it round quicker, and because we're moving it round more accurate than what we have been, like against Arsenal, that were just slow and misplaced passes. Whereas today we're a bit more accurate and a lot quicker passing. It looks better on the eye, and I think we played more. It felt like a bit more counter-attacking today, which I liked because it came off a few times. It's just that final third. Like I was joking. Once we cross the halfway line, we don't know what to do.
I mean, back end, midfield and defence, like a Ferrari, all knew what they were doing, all in tune. And then it gets to the front three of like a Ford Fiesta or something that's just always going to break down on you, not reliable. It's
Well,
probably
it's not like
or
the cross at halfway line and the head goes dizzy, and it's like, oh, what do we do now? We've not been this far up the pitch before. But it's just one of them things. We need a little bit more quality in the in that final third, and I think it'll all come together. I think I'm not scared. I think that if we can compete with the likes of Newcastle like that today. If we can replicate that in maybe 80% of the games that we play with more quality in the final third, I think we'll give it a good go. I'm gonna put my head on the chopping board and say we'll definitely survive, but I think we'll give it a really good go.
I mean, as time of recording, there's less than 48 hours of transfer window left, which closes on Monday at 7 o'clock. I thought it was 5, but
Yeah,
it's
7.
5 or 7.
7.
But we've got until then to bring in somebody, to hopefully bring in at least one person. Whether or not we get another striker, I do think we do need another winger. We'll get onto it when we do the player ratings, and I'll touch upon why I believe that the improvements are needed. But as a whole, like I said, it is a fantastic point. I know we're at home and people think, oh, well, I had a Newcastle fan say to me, why are you so happy that you got a point at home? Because it's a clean sheet. It's a massive improvement from last week, and it shows that we're willing to fight. I thought that our midfield three got the better of their midfield three, and
Mate,
that's where,
I'd have took a point before that game. Like, you give me a point
yeah,
against the Champions League team, I'm happy. You know,
yeah,
a clean sheet and a point. It's better than it's what we need. We're aiming. I think Farker's aiming for a point a game, isn't it? So
roughly, yeah.
yeah, so
I mean,
it's a point at home. Yeah, it might feel bad, but a newly promoted team at home that's not got a complete squad yet, against the Champions League squad, and it's 0-0. It's a clean sheet and a point. I'm happy all day long.
2 clean sheets, a win, a draw, and a loss. First 3 games, especially against Everton, who have been bang on form since they played us. So we played them at the right time. If we played them now, they probably would have rolled us over. Arsenal, who are fighting for the champions, they will probably be up there. Newcastle fighting to be in Champions League spot, top 6, top 5 end of the season, also playing Champions League football. It's brilliant that you've got 4 points out of the first 3 games. So let's divulge into individual performances now, because there are a few people that I want to touch upon which I didn't notice earlier especially when you said about driving into their half. So let's just get straight to Perry. Great save that he made. What did you make of him today, mate? Or 2 saves he made?
He looked a lot more confident today, didn't he? A lot more assured than he did against Arsenal. Yeah, and we got to see a long throw.
I mean, again, it was overthrown, or he just threw it to the wrong person in terms of, had he passed it to James, if James was actually on speed, then yes, we would have caught it. But threw it to Nonto, I mean, it's a tough one.
Not the player that I'd have thrown it to. Like I said, that James is your outlet for that, because
Yeah,
that ball's going when it's not like when you kick it, it's going high in the air and then it'll bounce. Whereas that'll skid off the surface because it's coming in quite a low trajectory. So that's where you want Dan James on the end of them, because that skids away from a defender. Dan James you're not catching him.
yeah, no.
That'd be the outlet for it, in my opinion. But yeah, it was nice to see.
I mean, came from a corner as well. Caught the ball, quick long throw, which is what you want from a goalkeeper. It didn't come off, but again, it's still pushed them back into their half, which is, again, good. The only downfall I have with him, and it will come in time, is his distribution, especially his passing. I think
I didn't think it was that bad.
it's the long balls, because it is literally just kicked to the other team.
Mate, I'd
I
rather
mean,
that than Milliers passing to the defender.
yeah. This is just what Daniel Farker said on Perry. So he said, Lucas came with an injury, 2 clean sheets, always good. We know he can improve his kicking, again, which is good, what you want to hear. We don't want him acting like a 10 or an additional outfield player, but room for improvement, needs time with goalkeeping coach. So main thing is saving the ball. And again, 2 saves today. What more do you want from a goalkeeper? Again, like I said, clean sheet against Newcastle. Yes, fair enough, they didn't have Isaac playing or their new £80 million striker playing, but you play what's in front of you.
There's still a Champions League team, mate. No matter, the players that they've got are quality, so it's But like I said, with Perry, I'd rather him do what he does and kick it long than play it short and risk, one of their players pressing, because at this level, pressing's higher quality than it is in the Championship. A lot better, and we saw that in other games. Like a few goals have gone in over the opening weekend with, passing out short and high presses. So for him to just smash it long, I'm happy with, because then that gives the players time to get in the shape and try and defend it from the front, rather than even if they win, it goes to their defense or their midfield and they win the ball. He kicks it far enough to get to their defense, so it's like it's going that far. So then we've got a full team behind that, rather than just a keeper to be by passing it short. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, it can improve. I'm just happy with that.
What would you rate him out of 10 then?
I'd give him a 7 for today.
Yeah, I agree. So, listeners, let us know your player ratings in the comments, whether or not you're watching this on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us. Let us know your player ratings and who your man of the match was as well. I'm going for a 7 as well. Ogle next, mate.
Vogel,
Just love him. I love him.
England right back.
By the end of the season, he will be in the England squad. I said this on our hot takes video, prediction video. This is what I mean by the only downpour I'm going to have with him is, again, what you were saying about as soon as we get into their half, we just froze. He done that little Bogle dribble. I'm not going to call it a messy dribble anymore. It's the Bogle dribble. Takes past like 3-4 of their players. All he had to do was either pass it to Nonto or lay it back to Goodmanson. And he froze and he just lost the ball. And that's, again, the only downpour I have with him was lay it off quicker.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything would have happened from it, but it was the better choice.
Yeah, but again, it's like we were talking about. It's like in hindsight, in it, or what you see compared to what they see, and it's. But sometimes, like I'm guessing in his defense, sometimes like you get to that area and you don't see the run. You don't see a run from a player, so then you don't know what to do, and you hold on to it too long, and then you lose out. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, he was good today, wasn't he?
Yeah. Again, 2 tackles, 2 tackles out of 2, 1-2 corners, 2 dribbles, successful dribble. Again, this is on Who Scored, so it is what they say on there. Again, I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
I'm giving him an 8.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Centre back pairing then, Rodon and Strauch. Are you going for the same ratings or different?
Probably same again. I think the thing about Strauch and Rodon, like when they have a good game like this, they both just pass the game by, if that makes sense, without even noticing.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of things well. So yeah. Because I don't like them holding on to the ball too much, to be honest. And yeah, I'll give them both a 7.5.
I agree with you on there. And it was also, I think it was Strauch's beautiful long ball in the first half. And he was unlucky not to connect. I can't remember who it was to now. But he played a beautiful long ball over to Nonto or Mecha and ran onto it. And again, nothing happened of it, obviously. But I thought that, just a quick look up, long ball. And like you said, holding it onto it for too long, just passing it around, it gives their defence time to get structured. And it's then you can't play that long ball over to, say, a James, Nonto, whoever's on the wings or even through the middle. Yeah, 7.5 for both of them. Right, Goodmanson, mate. What did you make of him today?
Fantastic again. I think Goodmanson were amazing today. I think I said to you, didn't I? After the first 20 minutes, I was saying so far Goodmanson and Longstaff, best players on pitch, and Goodmanson, he was making things happen when he was getting tackles in, he was blocking things, and then he were just taking the ball forward and carrying it. And although not much happened after that, but he was making things happen. And you just need, I think, like I keep saying, I don't want to slate Nonto too much in this game, but he needs a better partner on that left-hand side with a bit more quality. And yeah, he's such a good signing. But yeah, another 8 for me for that. So I'd say both fullbacks 8 and middle at pack 7.5.
I'm going to go for 8 as well. Again, there is a guy on the bench. He was injured, so he wasn't risked today. Noah Okafor. But I think them two could have a fantastic partnership together. But again, wait and see. Right, let's go on to Statch next.
It's weird because he set the bar very high, didn't he? When we played Everton.
Yeah.
He set the bar very, very high, and I love him so much. Today he was better than he was against Arsenal, but
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
It's not hard though.
But I think there's an extra bit on him. Like it was fantastic today, but I think there's just an extra level for him that he can get to. But yeah, driving the ball forward and making interceptions is so good. He made the most tackles, I think, in the. I can't remember if it was first half or not, but up to that point, he'd made the most tackles and had the most shots off target, but had the most shots for us.
No, there was somebody else. There was somebody else that has made a lot more tackles than him.
First half.
Yeah, again, first half. So we're looking first half completely. He made again. This is who scored. So it's
I'm just going by what Sky had said that he made the most shots. There were a certain point game. He had the most shots and made either most tackles or most interceptions. But he was very good today, and but just lacked that final pass. I guess I think that was. There were a couple of times where he just ran through and he played the wrong ball or overhit it or. But again, you can see it from a different angle. You can see that's the ball to play. It's a lot easier. If he's not noticed that, that's why he's not played it, and he's played it a different way. So I'd give him an 8 just for everything else, but it would have been higher if it would have been higher if he'd have executed.
I was only thinking 7.5 for him. I don't think he was as good as Bogle or Goodmanson. If you're giving Goodmanson and Bogle an 8, and I have as well, I'm going to give him a 7.5.
But he was better than Road on a strike, so
I'm only going to give him a 7.5. I am. Right, Gruev next. Just what a game from him, first of all.
His best game of the season so far.
I mean, it's not hard. I mean, when you're playing Arsenal, when you were that poor against Arsenal, gifting away a goal, it was just everything. It was his passing. He got our most pass success rate for us, and our second most amount of passes in the game.
To be fair, he don't pass it very far though, does he?
Not always. But you still need that though. But look at last game though against Arsenal. We had a short pass and passed it to their team. That's what
I'm saying.
So it's still irrelevant.
I'm saying that he don't pass it very far, so he's bound to have the most or the most accurate because he links up that play, but he passes it short a lot. So yeah, he had a very, very good game though. Still,
his tackling was good as well.
Yeah.
Pick up play, and yes, I know that Gruev. Again, it's a bit like Pero. Is he Premier League quality? Is he not? Some games will suit him better than others. Arsenal game didn't. This game did suit him. I'm giving him an 8. I think he was better than Statch.
I'd give him an 8 as well, but I think with Gruev, it's more to do with. I think it's more to do with his stature. The way that he runs and the way that he when he's chasing down players or. He's not the quickest, but the way that he runs and the way that he passes the ball or the way that he turns, it's not as silky and as smooth as other players. And I think that's why it doesn't look so good on the eye. Like you think it looks a bit out of place or he's trying too much. But I think that's just how he is. And yeah. So yeah, you're right. With what you said, some games will suit him better than others. I think like today was a game that suited him, and some games he might look out of depth, and some games he'll play well in. But we saw it last season with Gruev, didn't we?
Yeah.
He has his good games and his bad games, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm like I've just said, I still don't know if he is that Prem quality or not, but I know a lot of fans don't think he is. But again, different games we could utilize him. Ampadu's out injured. so be it, he comes in.
He's not as good as Ampadu in
No,
that position, and overall, he ain't Prem quality. If you're going to go top half of the Prem, bottom
no,
half, he can do a job.
yeah, exactly. But let's go on to probably man of the match, star of the day, against his former club, Sean Longstaff. Craig, just go for it.
I might give him a 10,
Okay, let's hear the reasoning.
It
Reasoning.
it was just everywhere, wasn't it? Broke up play. He just knew where to be. Everything went through Longstaff today. Everything good that we did in the middle of that field was through Longstaff. Whether that's because he knows the game plan. He were interviewed after, actually, and he said, and I think he were asked, and he said it helped that he knows their patterns of play. So he knows where the ball's going to go, what to do, where to be. And I think that helped him a lot. But yeah, he's just going to be one of those players, I think, that just grows and grows into that team. And I think he will cement a first team place down at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you already said it anyway about there's no guaranteed starters. Like Ampadu and Tanaka aren't guaranteed. If he puts his performance, depending on how long Tanaka's out for example, if against Fulham he puts in this performance again, does that mean Tanaka comes straight back in?
No.
Probably not. But he won He won the most duels today, 8. He won the most tackles in the game today. That's out of anybody.
Yeah.
He was so good in the game.
Yeah.
And he was everywhere.
I think
Like you said,
without him, we don't win that game.
we definitely don't look as convincing in the fact that we were the better team, in my opinion, that we were the better team. I don't think we look as convincing. Again, you say we don't win that. Again, it depends on who's there. Obviously, Ampadu, things out injured. Ampadu and Tanaka are out injured. So again, who would have come in? But with what he'd done in that game, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
But
When I say that, I do mean right now. Like Ampadu's injured, Tanaka's injured. If he doesn't play today, we lose that game. Like I think we're overrunning midfield without him today. But
yeah, because then you would have played Aronson there or Aronson in the 10 role. So yeah, you
yeah,
are right in that sense.
yeah.
I'm not going to give him a 10. I'm not. I'm going to give him a 9.5.
I give him that extra 5. Like
No,
you just agree with me that without him, we won't win that game.
I'm still going to give him a
But
9.5. I'm
no,
not.
not that we won't win because we didn't win. But I don't think we'd have got a point today if it weren't for him.
Probably not, but I'm still going to give him a 9.5. I'm not going to
Fair
give him
enough.
a 10.
I'm giving him a 10 because it was fantastic today.
You've got to be something special to get a 10. And
It
again,
was.
yes, he was special. Yes, he was brilliant. Yes, he was man of the match from both teams, but I still don't think he was a 10. 9.5. Right, Daniel James.
It's taken a while, innit, to get into this season.
I posed the question to myself earlier. Is he Prem ready? Yes, I understand that he's played in the Prem before with Fulham and stuff, but is he Prem quality that you need going forward? Yes, he's got that speed, but we haven't seen it so far. And I've questioned his decision making before, whether or not he shoots and crosses and crosses and shoots, or how he goes about it. What do you think on that? Is he Prem quality or not?
I might upset a few people here because I love Dan James, by the way. So I'm going to caveat this by saying I love Dan James. Last season, loved him. Season before, loved him. I love him as a person, the way he is, as a player. But honest opinion, he's not Prem quality technically. He's
Yeah.
not, but he showed that in Championship. Technically, he's not as good as other people. Like I don't think he's even as technically gifted as what Bogle is at taking players on. But knocking it past somebody, running onto a ball, there's nobody I'd want more than Dan James running onto that to beat someone. It's just like I say, his end product needs improvement. But I think I said during this game to you, in our group chat, is that this is the game where I think it was the final 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and when they brought Aronson on, and I said this is where you need to be bringing James on in these types of games. Players are tired. There were more space. They were opening up a little bit more towards the end because tiredness and everything.
Yeah.
So there were more space available. Dan James would have been an ideal player to bring on at that time, and I think hopefully, and I said as not a hot take, but I said I've said before this season we need a left winger, right winger, and it might sound mad that you'd want someone to replace James, but you need to upgrade that position, and James
Yep.
would be your backup as
Yeah.
that player runs someone ragged down that right hand side. You bring James on last 10 minutes, and that's a frightening thing to have. That you've got to keep up with James for the last 10 minutes, but his quality and technical ability is not quite there for Premier League anyway.
Yep. I agree. He's not, but it's that speed that frightens defenders. But today's game again, quiet. I don't want to be too harsh, but 6.5.
Yeah, see, I mean, yeah, he was very, very quiet today. I don't think I just don't think he's got started yet. He's better than what he's shown so far, but yeah, there's a lot of improvement from him to have. So I
No,
agree.
that's
0.5.
right. Nonto, Willy, you frustrated the hell out of me today. I'm just going to kick this off right now. Is when you have the ball and brilliant dribbling, brilliant taking on players, cut inside and have a shot. Either shoot or shoot. Basically, you're in that position. You've taken past 3 players, and all you have to do is have a shot. And then he just panics and just passes it back, or he gets tackled every single time. And I know you say this all the time when it comes to him, and it is same with him. Yes, he can get back, can defend, he presses well, he tackles well when he loses the ball. But why are you not shooting? That's my rant, honestly. I mean, I probably could have said a lot more and a lot worse, but I'm trying
All I'm saying
to
is,
be
I'm not gonna.
level-headed.
I'm not. I don't need to comment on this because if you just listen to every podcast for the last season, I say the
It
same
is
thing.
I know it's the same with him, and I know when he takes a shot, it gets blocked straight away because he's taken that long, and the players closed him down
But the thing
every
is,
single time.
in the games where he plays well, and with like last season, and the games that he plays well, and he gets that space, and he gets that half yard where he's running onto the ball, he's running into the box, and he's got the shot on, and he takes the shot first time. His shooting's really good, and that's what frustrates me so much, is because I know that he can do what he needs to do, but at times, for some, I don't know what reason it is, but that's the reason why I even think that he's going to go down in the pecking order if we sign someone of that's going to go in front of him and James on that right hand side. And I don't even think on left hand side he once Okafor gets going, I don't even think he starts on left hand side. It is this. I say this all the time about Willie Nonto. He just frustrates me. He seems to slow everything down. That's why when Perry passed it to him, when he threw it to him, I was like, no, not to Nonto, because he's not gonna. If he gets that ball, which look, he didn't win it, but if he gets that ball, he's not knocking it past that player and running. Which all
No.
it needed was all that space in behind. He holds that ball up and cuts inside and passes to someone or passes back, and yeah, that's what I mean. It frustrates me, and I rant on about it too much when I get going, and I should shut up. But yeah, it's what's the
That's why I
word?
took it first.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just I know it can be better, and it's not that I hate
Yeah.
him. It might sound like hating, but it's yeah. I know it can be better. 6.5, by the way.
I wanted to go 7, but I think he was better than James, but he definitely wasn't a 7.
That's what I
So
mean. 6.5.
6.5, better than James. Split opinions. What do you make of him? Obviously, we touched upon him a little bit with his hold-up play and all of that. What would you rate him?
Yeah. I'd say 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to think maybe 7.5 or so. I don't actually.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did enough to warrant going higher than 7.5. For me, he's all that player better. He wins the ball. He holds it up. He's strong, physical. Does the stuff that you want Perot to do, but he doesn't. And puts himself about. But I think he's still finding his feet. Like there are a couple of times his touches just to run away from him a little bit, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I think I'm going to shock a few people with what I'm going to say later, but yeah, 7 for me.
I'm gonna go 7 as well. I think he's just getting used to the league because he's
Yeah.
not really played since he only played like a handful of games for Man City anyway.
Yeah.
He's getting used to the league, and hopefully it comes in time. But a 7, right? Farker made a substitute before the 70th minute. Shock. 2 on the 60th minute, which to be fair was a blessing, I thought. And in a way, I thought both subs were better. Aronson and Harrison. Let's go to Aronson first because I know how much you love Aronson. Everyone knows how much you love him. What would you rate him, mate?
I don't know what to give him. What are you giving? What are you giving him? Because
He did
he just
some good stuff.
he does what he does, doesn't he? He does what he does. He weren't bad today. He weren't great. He hustled.
His touch that he done was a bit wayward. I don't know why he didn't kind of let it run onto the ball. The ball that came to him, he stuck his foot out to try and control it.
Oh yeah, when I said up my life because
And I think if that was James, you let it run on and you run onto the ball. I don't think Aronson got into the game enough to think that he could chase the ball down. He
no,
did a lovely 1-2 with Bogle right near the end in
yeah,
the penalty area. I thought that bit of play was decent. I'm giving him a 7.
I'm gonna say probably 7. I think it was slightly more effective than what James were.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm going for a 7 because he was better than both James and Nonto. But I don't think he warrants the same. I think he warrants better, but you can't go too high. So I think
Yeah,
a 7 is the fairest thing for him. Right, Jack Harrison. Now, I'm not going to say he's winning me around or anything like that. As a player, like I said at the beginning, he's got one of the best first touches I've seen for in a Leeds shirt. The way he touched that ball and took it took the player on. Again, in our own half, taking on players 1-2s. Yes, he's a little bit slow in that sense. He hasn't got that quickness, acceleration. He hasn't got that in him. So for him trying that, that's not his style. What do you rate him? And let me hear your thoughts on it.
I'm gonna give him a 7 as well because I thought it made a difference. His first touch, yeah, I've always said one thing about Jack Harrison, even when all the time he's been at Leeds, is his first touch, it's quality.
Yeah.
But today, it didn't happen all the time. Today, it took a few touches before he got it because there were a few that bounced off him. I mean, you could see he was frustrated with himself.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes Jack Harrison tries too hard, and that's where his game falters a little bit. Like when he does things simple and he just lets it naturally play, like later on after he'd had a few touches, that touch came down natural. It's like when he doesn't try so hard, it happens. But then after that, the ball, who did he pass to? It's like I think he just tries too much sometimes to do too much, and that's his downfall. Yeah, but yeah, he tries to make things happen, and the effort. That's what won him a contract. We had him on loan for so long. The effort that he puts in. That's why the managers like him that he plays for. He'll work hard and he'll do what you want him to do. So I give him a 7 for it.
Yeah, I agree. 7 as well. Right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate. Our only shot on target. Did pretty decent, got in some decent play positions. What would you rate him?
I'd rate him 7.5. I'm going better than Metcher because not only did he get a shot on target, he's a little bit tidier. Say he hasn't played football for a long time. He got a shot on target. His touches were a bit better than Metcher's. He holds it up just as good, I think, and he puts himself about. He won the only header that I saw with one from from a goal kick.
Metcher won one. Metcher did win one.
But he didn't win it and flick it on, did he? Like
Not flick it on, no.
He
Like
weren't
one, I
clean.
think
He weren't a clean header that he'd won. A lot of matches that he gets the ball from them goal kicks, it like bundles off him a little bit, like he's wrestling with the defender. Whereas
yeah.
Calvert-Lewin got up, won the header clean, and I liked that. And I'm like, and yeah, he had a bit of I think he had a crack, didn't he, from about 30, 35 yards. But he got himself into that position to have that crack, to have that shot, but it, went wide. But then, got into the box and from a good ball through to him and got a shot on target. And I think, like I said before, keep Calvert-Lewin fit. He's going to come good.
Yeah, I agree with you on the rating as well. Right, I would say we rating Justin or James Justin came on 10 minutes ago.
I'd give him I'd give him a solid 6.5. He did well.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, you come on with 10 minutes, so
Yeah, you can't give him too much, but he did well what he did. He didn't make any mistakes and he looked comfortable. So
yeah. Do you know what? Every now and then we rate the manager. Let's talk about the manager a minute because Farker can't do anything right with a lot of these fan base. Yes, I put out on different social media platforms, should he be sacked and all of this? Now, that was me asking the question. I don't think he should be sacked. I like Farker. Can he be stubborn in his tactics and not adapt as much? Sometimes, yes. But today we played not to lose that game, similar to West Brom, which again, obviously same formation, but little bit of tweaks with goalkeeper playing out from the back. That's changing tactics, is it not? Like, do you not think?
do you want me to go on
Or
another rant?
you?
Do you want me to go on another rant here?
Let go on then. Go on then.
Right. To say Farker is tactically inept means you don't watch football, basically. If you watch today, put in the comments whether you watch this on YouTube, whether you listen to it on Spotify, put in the comments and tell me what tactic you think he played today. And I'll bet you're wrong. Because you'll all right, I'll pause it there. Right, okay, I'll give you a second. Write your tactic in, 'cause it's wrong. Right? You'll see that it's set up as a 4-3-3. Watch the game, 4-1, 4-1. 4-1,
I mean,
4-1 multiple times. When we had the ball going forward, when they had the ball coming at us, we were a bank of four, one striker, we had one midfielder and the bank of four at the back. It was 4-1, 4-1. It's it's called fluidity. It's frustrating because it's not a tactic of like 4-3-3 rigid and that's it all the way through. In transition, it changes to a different tactic. Players go into different positions. Marcelo Bielsa used to do this all the time. It's like I went through a masterclass of his that he showed, and it shows how his formation works, and it's not the base formation as you see it when the players at kickoff are stood is this formation, but it changes throughout the game to what's needed, and Farker does it all the time.
I'll give you another example as well. So I'm going to back you up on this as well. There was a time when we played 1-2, so basically a three at the back. The one that was the deepest the most was Gruev. We had the ball. It was the 80-something minute. Gruev dropped deep. The two centre backs then pushed in front of him. Your wing backs pushed up with, therefore, the wingers as well dropped inside a little bit. So they weren't like two on the wings. It was like a both number 10 kind of role, if that's how you want to see it. And then the mids were slightly ajar from each other. So they weren't sat in that 4-3-3, which is what we set up with at the beginning or on paper. So he does change his tactics as we're playing. Yes, you may just think, oh, it's a 4-3-3. He doesn't change his tactics.
It starts off rigid as a 4-3-3. When you kick off, it starts. That's where the players are positioned. But as the game goes on, so when we're defending, or when we've got the ball at the back, the goalkeeper's got the ball, you'll see three at the back, one player dropping. So you've got three at your back, you've got your wing backs, you've got your wingers that are inverted, so that creates your midfield, and then you've got your striker up front. So you're packing the midfield, you're pushing your wing backs on. When the wing backs go forward, Gruev or whoever's playing there, like Ampadu, drops in to create a back three because your wing backs pushing forward. So that spreads out then to that. And then when you go into transition, when you're going forward, it changes again. It's a fluid tactic. It's dynamic. It's not rigid all the way through. It's not like the old days where you play 4-4-2 and it stays 4-4-2 all the way up the pitch. It's dynamic, and if you watch it properly, if you watch football a lot, you'll see a lot of managers do the same thing. For tactics, it's fluid. It changes during the game to what's needed, and that's why it annoys me when people say he should do this, he should do that, he should play. He does change things around, and he does it multiple times. And like you saw last season, how many people always comment on and talk about his substitutions? How many times did he actually get it wrong last season?
Rarely.
That's what I'm saying. Whether you like it or not, whether you like, I mean, I'm guilty. I don't like the substitutions that he makes, and sometimes they blow my mind. But he rarely gets it wrong, and that's it. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, my issue that I have with the subs, and I understand where we are in the pecking order and all of this. I know we're not riches galore and all of that. But when you're bringing on Aronson and Harrison as your first subs, and they're bringing on Alanga, there's difference in qualities, and I understand who we're playing against. But when a team can bring on Alanga and we're bringing on these two, that frustrates me. Yes, I understand that Okafor's been injured and all of that, and he was only there for an emergency. I understand that, and I see that. My thinking is, why them two? But I know we've got no one else.
Yeah,
As
it's
it
not just
stands.
that, mate. He'll see something in a game that we don't see, or we don't understand. But he'll see something that, right, okay, I want this to happen, or I want that to happen, and he'll put the right players that he trusts to do that job for him. But
Yeah.
you go back to last season, and we were that team where it's, oh my God, they're bringing on Dan James. Oh my God, they're bringing on Nonto. Oh my God, they're bringing. We were that team last season.
Yeah.
What you've just said about Newcastle, and if we can survive this season, next season, the season after, at least 3 seasons, if we can survive, we'll get to that position where we can bring quality off the bench, because that's the big thing is your bench shows how good a team you are. If you've got a really good bench that's as good as what your first team is, you could swap and change them players and it wouldn't make much difference. Like it did for us last season, you didn't see a drop in quality really, or not much when you changed, apart from the striker. when that
We won't
got
touch upon
changed,
that.
we'll not touch
That,
upon
no.
it. Yeah, but that's the reason why, and yeah, it's. I know what a lot of people are going to say that we could have done with a certain player today, and I'm just, we need quality, and we need a lot more quality than what we've got.
Right, so Farker, I think he got everything spot on today.
He did.
That's from starting lineup to his subs. I know, obviously, we touched upon the subs. We laugh about it and all. Dog maybe could have played, but maybe he wants to see more of him in training or get used to the tactics and the formation of it. Pascal did a fantastic job, he did a job at the back, so he didn't make any mistakes.
This is what I like. Even me, I understand the game. I understand what he's doing, but I get frustrated why Bjorn's on the bench, why Bornau's on the bench, because I understand Struijk and Rodon are they play together so many games that they know each other. And his go to last season when Struijk's injured is Ampadu. Drop Ampadu in, put Gruev into midfield, but he's got Bjorn now. It's like you want him to use them. I understand that. We've paid money for him. And why is he not doing it? And at times today, I thought, why are they on the bench? Because when we get corners, when we get set pieces, we need them on because they're your ball winners. But yeah, do you want to risk? Do you want to risk losing, or do you want to risk, putting players on that are not used to the system and they're not used to the team? Farke is very much like Bielsa in that sense that it takes time for him to trust you, and takes time for him to play you in the positions that he wants you and do the job that he wants. And yeah, it's like I've always said though, you give Farke a team of better quality, like when we lost to Arsenal 5-0, you give Farke the Arsenal players playing his system, it'll work.
Exactly. Are we gonna? So if you were to rate him out of 10, then what would you rate him today?
I'd give him an 8 for today.
Yeah,
he got us
nothing wrong.
He got us a point and a clean sheet against the Champions League team. And if you're still saying Farke, if you think Farke out after that, watch football.
Right, we will leave it there. Unless Craig, you got anything else to add on it or not?
Make some signings.
Yes, we're at least one by next week. But yeah, we will leave it there. Thank you all for listening, guys, and we will be back next time.
Next week we may have a special guest for you. Yeah,
guys,
smash us like, subscribe. whatever people do nowadays.
Yeah.
Help
Subscribe,
us out.
follow, 5-star ratings, all of that malarkey. Leeds.
They do.